Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wealthy and Wise Wednesdays, where I share a few words of financial wisdom to help put you back in the driver's seat of your financial future. Today is Wednesday, October 28th, and today we're going to talk about America's long-term care crisis. As a self-professed insurance nerd, let's talk about some actuarial statistics. Number one, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, an estimated 72% of all retirees will need long-term care in some form. Secondly, the average cost of a long-term care facility, nursing home, in America, $249 per day. So you do the math, and that adds up to $90,000 per year on average. The average stay in a nursing home for men, 2.2 years, for women, 3.7 years. And now you can see just how much that cost can add up. And that brings us to statistic number 4. Well, it's more of a fact number 4 than it is statistic. The majority of caregiving done in this country actually isn't done in nursing homes at all. It's done by unpaid, unlicensed caregivers because it's family. It's family. Now, when I have consultations with seniors, almost all of them are greatly concerned with this long-term care issue. They've often seen family and friends have difficulties with caregiving, the cost of home health care, or the cost of assisted living facilities and nursing homes. So when children try to care for mom or dad, or when one spouse tries to care for another, it can often lead to stress, declining health of the caregiver, and loss of income for the caregiver, as they oftentimes have to take time off work to care for their parent. Now, if there are multiple children, how can it be ensured that the caregiving and the financial duties and responsibilities are going to be spread evenly among them? And here's the thing, it can't. In my experience is that this rarely happens. And so you end up having this animosity between brothers and sisters because they feel like some of the brothers and sisters are doing their duties and some of the brothers and sisters aren't pulling their own weight when it comes to taking care of mom or dad. Now, in addition to the caregiving duties and financial responsibilities, what about decision making? Like 2 of the siblings may want mom and dad to stay at home forever, and a few of the other siblings may be like, this is enough. We can't handle this anymore. We're not trained to give this care at the level that we have. We have our own families to take care of. We have our own jobs and careers. It's time for mom and dad to go into a nursing home. Okay. So you know what that leads to? A lot of stress, a lot of friction, and long-term care, it can tear families apart. And so we want to prevent that from happening. I've been doing this long enough to know that there will be even many people watching this video where some of the siblings still aren't speaking to one another because of what happened with mom or what happened with dad. And what happens when that day comes, when mom or dad needs to go into the nursing home? How will it be paid for? Well, for many people, they're going to spend what little money they have, and then they're going to go on Medicaid, and that will pay for their care. But for people who have accumulated a little bit of a nest egg, those are the kind of people who come to professionals like me for assistance with their financial planning and their retirement planning. They have to spend all of their money first. Then, and only then, are they going to qualify for Medicaid. Remember, Medicaid is a welfare program, and it's means tested. And so people will have to spend their entire nest egg, their entire life's work, on their medical care before they can qualify for government assistance. And that's why many families face such terribly difficult decisions when it comes to the long-term care issue. Now, look, mom and dad aren't stupid. They know that they can't take their money with them when they go. But this is their life's work. And who do you think they want their money to go to? Do you think they want it to go to the federal government or one of these nursing homes or hospitals? Or do you think they'd rather keep the money in the family? And that's where we start talking about implementing long-term care insurance into the financial plan. Long-term care insurance can be a terrific way to mitigate not only the financial risks to your family's nest egg, but also to mitigate the stress upon individuals or even the entire family dynamic. And these plans can be incredibly flexible. You can choose your benefit amount, your benefit duration, your elimination period, and many other features to give you the best coverage possible. But here's the thing. Let's just say what we probably all know and probably what we're all thinking. Long-term care insurance isn't cheap. But here's the thing. If you can't afford the Cadillac plan that's going to cover 100% of the cost, don't get discouraged. What if you could fit a plan into your budget that would reduce your exposure by maybe 75% or maybe by even 50%? That would be beneficial, wouldn't it? It would protect a significant amount of your nest egg. It would provide for a lot of the caregiving, and it would provide probably more importantly, that peace of mind, lack of stress and security, not just to the person going into the nursing home, but for the entire family. Now, the thing with long-term care is that it is an insurance policy, so you can't just buy one anytime you want. You must qualify with good health. And so you want to buy your plan before you have both knees and both hips replaced, or before you start leaving your keys in the freezer, if you know what I mean. Now, the younger you are, not only is it more likely that you'll qualify for a policy, but it'll be lower cost as well. Personally, I've had the best luck with people under 55 years of age getting approved. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I've had people in their early 70s who are healthy enough to get approved. But as a general rule, earlier is better. Now, in addition to standalone long-term care policies, there are many other options, and the insurance industry is constantly innovating and evolving to keep ahead of economic challenges so they can best help the consumer. For example, many people don't like the idea that they may purchase a long-term care policy, pay premiums for 25 years, and then pass away peacefully in their sleep. That would mean that they paid premiums for 25 years and never saw any benefit from the policy. Now, as mentioned, that happens less than half of the time, but it certainly is a consideration. So the industry has created life insurance policies with chronic illness riders. This creates tremendous leverage by creating a huge pool of tax-free money funded by a relatively small amount of premium paid on a monthly basis. After all, why pay dollar for dollar out of your pocket when, for pennies on the dollar, you can put these huge, rich insurance companies on the hook for it instead of yourself? Now, if the insured needs to go into a nursing home, this allows them to spend their death benefit while they're still alive to take care of their nursing home. If they pass away without ever using a long-term care feature, they'll leave that large tax-free death benefit to their family, helping to create intergenerational wealth. Now, the third benefit is the policy also builds cash value, so the policy owner can use tax-free cash flow to supplement their retirement income. There are even annuities available where you can add an option so that the income stream increases when you have a long-term healthcare incident. This provides additional resources to help pay for that care, which in turn alleviates the stress for the family and protects the family's assets. By not planning for a long-term healthcare incident, you're not in control of what happens. You're giving up that control. And if you don't have a plan, you automatically default to the government plan, which is to spend down all of your assets until you're destitute. And then you go on Medicaid, which, remember, is a welfare program. Wouldn't you rather remain in control of your destiny and in control of your financial and retirement future? If there was a way to remain in control of your money until you took your last breath, and then instead of your money going to the government or to one of these nursing homes or hospitals, we could keep that money in your family for generations to come. What if we could help make your children and your grandchildren better off? Would you want to know how to do that? If you would like my assistance in this matter, I'm here to help. Please give me a call at 248-241-6826, or you could message me right here on social media. Well, that wraps up this week's video, and that's my rant. As always, thanks for listening.